Hello, how you doing? Hope you're well. Being in the moment, Sunday, December 20th, 4:41 in the afternoon in Los Angeles. Is there anybody out there? I've been really busy. I haven't had time to talk to my screen, which is weird for me. It's been a glorious day today. Out in the sunshine, helping a friend, and dealing with lots of people who are very paranoid about our current situation. Paranoia is a strange infliction, and I see it as that. It really is very strange. When we deal with what is instead of what might be, we have to look at what's happening here right now. In this room, not much, but out working in the sunshine and stay hydrated, lots of water. Yeah, happy Sundays, happy every day. If we could all be in the moment, like really be here right now, no past, no future, no nothing, just right now. How do you feel? I feel flesh and blood. I feel pretty good. My mother's not doing particularly well. She's feeling really depressed and down and miserable and sad. I mean, the sadness is real. She lost her husband of 60 odd years, so this year. So she's sad about that. But that sadness has put things out of focus. So anything she sees that she doesn't like, it compounds that sadness, and that's making her depressed. And I don't like that very much, because I love my mum, and I only wish she could not dwell too much on what she sees on TV or reads in the newspapers. Somebody said to me recently that the media is complicit in this plandemic, scamdemic, whatever you want to call it. So the media is complicit. I thought about that, and it was like, complicit means kind of like, yeah, they're involved in it. Well, are they involved in it? They're driving it. It's. I mean, I know they have to report what the politicians tell them, and the politicians have masters tell them, and blah blah blah. But do we have to listen? I mean, really? breathe. Feels good when you breathe. Had some fun on the phone with my sister today too. I talked to her. She's in the West Country of England, sort of like west of London. And she said, well, how is it affecting you here? Here in Los Angeles. Well, I think pretty much since I've been in Los Angeles, which has been a very long time, it's been fairly absurd, like the absurdists, where it's like, that's not going to happen. Well, it was happening, so it's like I was always aware of a certain amount of the absurd. And now it's beyond that. I mean, it's like beyond the absurdity of why people do the things they do, for what they do it for, and how. And I mean, it becomes like, oh, it's. So I likened it to being in a previously unseen Monty Python sketch. I mean, that's life. I mean, how far out there can they go? I mean, I can't remember which one it was, but it was some Python movie where he does this dance and it's like, I am a fish, you are a tree, and it's like it's so absurd, and it's kind of humorous, but at the same time it's kind of disturbing. And I think that's pretty much how I view my life, certainly during these times. But I still like to be here. I like here now, because what was and what is coming, it's like get stuck in this. So I like to try and stay in the moment and try and enjoy each minute as it passes. And after a minute, another minute passed. I think that's a Monty Python sketch too. Yeah. Someone asked me to write some music the other day, and I have the ability to write music, which is good, and I enjoy doing it. And they said to me they wanted a piece of music that was going to help them feel like the male and female energies were coming together, and that the unification of the male and female light bodies and energies were coming together, and the world was going to become unified by this idea. And so it was like, wow, bit of a tall order for a man who really barely knows how to write music. So, but then I wrote 3 pieces in an hour, and all of them were just like flowing out of me. I mean, it was unbelievable flowing. I mean, I didn't even know how to use some of the programs I was using in order to find the things I wanted to find, but I was just pushing buttons on the computer. Ooh, that's the sound I like. Ooh, it goes with that sound. I mean, it was boom, 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 boom. So I was very open to the now moment, and that was really fun to do. And I hope it helps. I've heard it now with the lady who's a psychic healer talking over the pad of music that I made, and it does feel really soothing, and it really goes with her voice, what she's saying. So it was quite rewarding for me. I felt like I was contributing to unification and love and peace. I felt like I was actually putting something in, and so that was good. I felt good. I don't think I've got any moments of edification for you. I don't think I have, because that I really would miss if it was taken away from me would be my freedom to choose. And we're there. I'm not there. But I've noticed that the system, this beast system that we live within, this guy telling this guy that this guy isn't good, and then this guy telling this guy that this guy's not worthy, that system, it's starting to encroach, really encroach on one's own freedom to choose, or the choice for freedom. So freedom of choice of freedom. And that concerns me. How free, the limitations of your imagination. How free, I mean, my imagination is off the charts most of the time. I've happily lived my life in what many would call a bubble of fantasy. I help as many people as I can in life daily. Like, oh, my mate, you need some food, you need something to eat. Those sort of helps. I live in a house with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other 60 somethings, and they're all kind of curmudgeonly. I often hear them cursing the world to themselves in their room, or to their little dog, or whatever. They're what do you it's like, it's funny. I think they must hear me write music and play music in here sometimes, and they must be thinking, what's he up to? What's he doing in there? Creativity, the idea that you've got a piece of blank paper and something comes up, there it is, that creative thing. Some people spark that in me. That doesn't mean they're amused, but some people spark that in me. I had a phone conversation today with a girlfriend of mine who lives on the East Coast. She's lovely. I don't see her, she's a friend. And she's actually kind of reluctant to FaceTime. I don't know why. Maybe she's got image issues for herself. She's amazing. She's an amazing photographer. And when she talks, she kind of doesn't have to think. She just is. And she is an angel. I mean, she's one of those people that seems to just be able to, I suppose, therapize. I mean, I don't know if that's a word. Every time I come off the phone after talking to her, it's like I feel like I've come out of a really good therapeutic session. Um, she is a healer, and she is psychic, but our friendship is not necessarily based on whether that is key element. So when we talk, it's just talk, but it's like I always feel uplifted by chatting to her, that's quite lovely. And she is a healer too, and she's a massage therapist. Or at least she does like amazing like touch healing, therapy, massage. So, but we talk quite often. She's in the northeast corner of the United States. I'm over here on the sort of southern central west coast. So don't really see each other. And I'd like to see her because she's just a beautiful person. Hopefully I'm going to see both my daughters today. I've got 3 days of work coming up that are going to be long and not necessarily difficult. Well, they'll be difficult because we're dealing with people who think they're very important, who really aren't. I mean, they're no more or less important than anybody else, but they think of themselves as more important. So that's going to be a bit difficult for me because I've always looked at people as my equal, like eye to eye, everybody, no ups, no downs, just us. And these people think of themselves as authority over me, and the work we're doing is, to me, very simple and trite. Good word, I like that one. Trite. Completely unnecessary. Peripheral. Not even peripheral. Vapid. That's another good word. Vapid. But I've been told we're approaching a new age, and I'm willing to believe that at the moment, because I already feel like we're already there. You see, the new age is to be happy, to feel love, to feel empathy, to be compassionate. That's the new age, the age of Aquarius, or the alignment of the planets, or the coming solstice, or Christmas. Whatever it is you want to, put that, hang that label, and approach. I feel we're already there. I mean, I'm already there, but feel like we're already at this wishing place that a lot of people seem to be in at the moment. Why are they in a wishing place? Don't know. Well, probably because things are looking quite upside down right now, to a lot of people than they were to me. And I do see that why people would think that things were upside down. It's just, I don't think they've embraced the absurdity of following fools as much as I have. I haven't followed fools, but I see the absurdity of following fools. Well, I have followed fools in the past. Of course I have. Gosh. So many really, really good snake oil salesmen, like in the Midwest, or not Midwest, in the old-fashioned westerns, when the guy used to come into town with his horse and cart with the miracle cure and, all that stuff. Snake oil salesmen, that's what they call them. And it's like, I've seen every person who's dangling a carrot in front of us, as some kind of snake oil salesman, because it's something we're supposed to chase, we're supposed to follow, but it's like it's fool's gold. Oh, it's a great song, Fool's Gold. Oh, that was a good song. I hear so many songs in my head, and I can never really properly remember them, but I get them come to me sometimes, and then I get things like obscure things come to me too. Like the music I just wrote for Gaia, which is what I call the piece, or the pieces. I wrote 3 pieces, all for Gaia, but they all had different parentheses, like celestial, floating. They're all floating because that was part of the commission when this wonderful healer asked me to do the music. She said, I feel like you're floating, unified. So they're all floating. So I had the impression. So, it's a commissioned piece, but it just came to me, just boom. So it's been commissioned by somebody who knew, maybe a psychic. You see, the absurdity of the word. So anybody trying to make sense of nonsense is going to spend an awful lot of time spinning their wheels. So unless you're enjoying spinning your wheels, I'd probably not bother, because it don't make sense of this. It's just they said they cancelled Christmas. She laughed. It's been a good year for the lemmings. It's been a good year for the lemmings. When I first came to the United States, I came to New York, did a lot of traveling around. San Francisco, Hawaii. Went all over the place. Through the Midwest, Chicago, just travel, and then spent quite a lot of time in Los Angeles because I really enjoyed it, and then ended up moving back here and living here. So, but when I first came here in the 80s, late 80s, I can't remember, mid 80s, when I first came here, it was like a little slice of heaven. The economy was doing very well. There was lots of work being done here. there were lots of artists working here. It didn't take me long to find out that the commercial artists were the ones that were obviously making the most money. Commercial artists. But the artists were mostly on the east side of town. So it was like this, west, the coast, the most desirable financial reward of living on a coast in a beautiful climate with a beautiful ocean. That sort of west coast, west of Los Angeles side is the most expensive to live in, and where all the commercial artists usually are. And then there's the central part, which is kind of manufacturing, making things, working class, very nuts and bolts kind of place. And then to the east is the lower, financially able, wealthy, affluent, less affluent. Usually, I mean, there's little pockets here and there in those areas too. But so, because I love music so much, I was listening to a lot of the artists that, and going to galleries to see artists at work. But on the east side, because it was so vibrant and it was so eclectic and great. I mean, it was the mid 80s, Los Angeles, east side. Places like Al's Bar and obscure galleries, $50 gallery. Lots of weird stuff on the east side or just east of downtown. Highland Park, Echo Park, Silver Lake was kind of included in that time too. But of course, Silver Lake became very hip very quickly because somebody who lived on the west side decided to give somebody on the east side a bit of a leg up because they had a commercial sound. So it was like, okay, the money came in. So, I mean, nothing, it's always cyclical. And so that was interesting and observe and see people who were willing to cash in their chips early in the game and do it for financial reasons rather than continue to be free expressing as most artists should, like that complete freedom of expression. So that was interesting. I wrapped up in it for a while because I had so many members in my band. And at one point, I think there was 10 of us on stage. It's impossible. I mean, I was trying to be the front guy and have it be like I don't know what I wanted it to be really. I wanted people to freely express themselves collectively, but of course, I wasn't ruling with a iron rod. So, if you had a player in your band that was wanting to be about him or her, they would dominate the sound, and we ended up being a wall of noise sometimes, which was fun. I mean, live, but I always wanted to have a lot of creative people involved in the creative process, and then try and bring it all together and make it into something that was like a collective. And it did work sometimes, but very rarely. And eventually I gravitated towards the one person in the band who was on the same page, wanted to make great music, but didn't want to compromise by having other people take it in different directions. So it was like, he and I were very, and still are to this day, simpatico. If I come up with something, he'll be already taking it where he thinks it should go, and then I'll hear something in what he's doing, and so we have this like natural, and it's just because there was two of us. It's like marriage, I suppose. Well, it's like a good marriage. Give and take, give and give. Christmas is coming. The goose is getting fat. Please put a penny in the old man's hat. Hello. Be kind to people. Very, very kind to people. Even if they're not kind back, it's okay. Be kind. This is the Christmas kindness. This is just the kindness. Oh, kind. Oh, but you got to be cruel to be kind. No, you don't. You do not have to be cruel to be kind. Okay, I'm looking at my clock. I'm thinking I'm a little tired. I'm a little hungry. I want to go see my girls. I don't even know if they're at their mum's house, which is just around the corner. Yet. But I do know they're coming. So I'm going to go see my daughters. If I don't talk to you before Christmas, Mr. Screen. Mr. Screen. Hi, Mr. Screen. If I don't talk to you before the Christmas holidays, and I might, but I don't know. But if I don't talk to you before, have a wonderful, kind, caring, loving, empathetic, beautiful Christmas. Tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow. Now. Okay. I love you. Stay safe. Be kind.